The demonstration was supposed to be routine. General Kethvor of the Zalurian military had arranged it specifically to intimidate the new human ambassadors, a show of overwhelming force that would remind them exactly where they stood in the galactic hierarchy. The testing chamber aboard the Crimson Authority was designed to showcase the Zalurian Empire's most devastating weapons. Energy cannons that could vaporize starship hulls, plasma rifles that had reduced entire armies to ash, and the crown jewel, the molecular disruptor that could tear apart the atomic bonds of any known material. "Observe," General Kethvor announced to the assembled human delegation, his 4 arms gesturing proudly toward the weapons array. "These are the instruments that have maintained peace across 400 systems for the past millennium." Ambassador Lisa Park nodded politely, though she seemed more interested in the technical specifications than the intimidation factor. "Impressive engineering. What's the power output on the big one?" "The molecular disruptor generates focused energy equivalent to a small star," Kethvor preened. "It can penetrate any known armor, dissolve any known material. Nothing in the galaxy can withstand its—" "Mind if I take a look?" Before anyone could stop her, Ambassador Park had walked directly into the testing zone and was examining the massive weapon with the casual interest of someone browsing a hardware store. "Ambassador," Kethvor's translator crackled with alarm. "The safety protocols, the radiation fields alone." "Oh, this?" Park glanced at the energy readings that were making the Zalurian technicians scramble for cover. "It's a little warm. Nice design, though. Very elegant focusing system." General Kethvor's secondary hearts stopped beating. The human was standing directly in front of an active molecular disruptor, completely unprotected, treating lethal radiation like a pleasant summer breeze. "Surely you must be wearing some form of personal shielding," he managed. "Nope." Park knocked on her chest with her knuckles, producing a dull thump. "Just the standard diplomatic uniform. Actually, would you mind firing this thing? I'm curious about the beam coherence at close range." The silence in the chamber was absolute. Even the automated systems seemed to pause in disbelief. "Fire! The molecular disruptor! At you?" Kethvor's voice rose to frequencies his species typically reserved for existential terror. "Sure, I mean, if it's safe. I assume you have proper targeting systems?" Military engineer Velthar, who had designed the disruptor personally, stepped forward on shaking legs. "Ambassador Park, that weapon can disintegrate a battle cruiser. The energy density alone would kill most species from radiation poisoning at this distance. And you're asking us to shoot me with it? Yeah. Look, if it makes you more comfortable, start with something smaller." She gestured to the plasma rifles. "How about one of those? They look like they pack a decent punch." Kethvor found himself in the unprecedented situation of trying to talk someone out of committing suicide by weapons test. "Ambassador, those rifles fire contained plasma at temperatures exceeding stellar core fusion. No biological organism could—" "Well, there's one way to find out." Park picked up one of the plasma rifles and examined it with professional interest. "Safety's off, power cell is fully charged. How do you—" "Oh, found it." She pointed the rifle at her own leg and pulled the trigger. The plasma bolt struck her thigh with a flash that temporarily blinded everyone in the chamber. When their vision cleared, they expected to see a human-shaped pile of ash. Instead, Ambassador Park was looking down at a slightly singed hole in her pants. "Huh," she said thoughtfully. "That actually tickled a little. The thermal transfer is more efficient than I expected, but the penetration is basically nil." She looked up at the stunned aliens. "Mind if I try the disruptor now?" General Kethvor was experiencing what his species' medical texts would later classify as acute psychological trauma. "Ambassador, how are you still alive?" "Oh, right. I keep forgetting other species don't know about human physiology." Park rolled up her sleeve, revealing what looked like completely ordinary skin. Humans evolved on a high-radiation world with an active magnetic field, aggressive solar output, and an atmosphere that's basically a continuous chemical reaction. Our skin has to deal with constant bombardment from cosmic rays, ultraviolet radiation, and environmental toxins. She flexed her arm, and the watching aliens could see the subtle play of what looked like impossibly dense muscle fibers beneath the surface. Plus, our bony density is about 4 times what you'd expect for our size. Our muscle fibers are structured for explosive force generation, and our circulatory system is designed to handle massive trauma. Oh, and our pain tolerance is apparently way higher than galactic average. Engineer Velthar was frantically checking his instruments. But the energy readings, the plasma bolt should have delivered enough thermal energy to boil water instantly. Yeah, we sweat to regulate temperature. Pretty efficient cooling system. Park looked around at the increasingly panicked aliens. So, molecular disruptor? The weapon test that followed would be classified at the highest levels of Zalurian military intelligence. The official report simply stated that human physiology demonstrates unexpected resistance to energy-based weapon systems. The unofficial report, circulated among allied species as an emergency warning, was more direct. Do not engage humans in direct combat. Standard weapons are ineffective. Their bodies appear to be designed for survival in conditions that would be fatal to most known life forms. Ambassador Park's final comment, as she handed back the smoking remains of the molecular disruptor that had somehow failed to penetrate her palm, became part of galactic military doctrine. Nice weapons. You guys should try making them a little stronger, though. The Zalurian Empire signed the Human Non-Aggression Pact the following day, not because they respected human diplomacy, because they'd realized that humans were essentially walking around in biological power armor, and they had absolutely nothing that could break it.